Hi, I'm Kent Boyer with DuPont Pioneer Forage Additives. Today we're going to be talking about installing an Intell SLV applicator on a John Deere 8000 series harvester. This section is going to focus on acquiring battery power, where to connect into the machine for that, and then as well we'll discuss tying in for the ignition system. Okay, so we're inside the service area of the John Deere 8000 harvester. First thing we're going to do is we're going to release these two quarter turn locking bolts here and remove that cover. We'll kind of just pull it down out of the way here. You'll notice this bus here underneath the cover. If we remove this rubber cap, we'll find a bolt stud here that's going to give us a good 12 volt power supply. So when we talk about the power wire for the Intell, this would be the main battery connection. We'll actually remove the nut, put the red eyelet underneath, and retighten the nut. Now, as far as the ground, we've got the eyelet as well. There's a bolt, if you can see, it's on the back side of this bracket right here, but it seems that that bolt is easily accessible, and we can easily remove the nut from the back side, pull the bolt out. You will need to clean the paint away to ensure that that eyelet has a good connection to the steel of the harvester. Any paint in between that eyelet and the steel can affect the voltage feed. Now, when we look at this cover, one may be required to modify the cover a bit to allow for this power wire to come out from underneath the cover. It may be that it needs to be bent, the cover needs to be bent away, or possibly notched out, or whatever. But that would allow one to pick up power off of this bus, and this will prevent the installer from having to clear the back bumper to acquire that battery power. Okay, so while we're inside the service area here on a John Deere 8000 harvester, we thought we'd go ahead and point out the end of row connection. They've written from the 7000 series, that plug was mounted on the front right fender. It's the same plug, but they've located it now inside the service area. So customers who had a 7000 upgraded to an 8, you don't see this plug on the front fender. You'll find it here in the service area. So again, if you open the cover, you'll find that the connector and the harness that you had previously on the 7000s will plug directly into this port. Okay, so we're still in the 8000 series harvester. We're in the service area here. And one more point we wanted to talk about was where to install the spray tip for the Intell. And they've got this service plate here on the back side of the blower housing. And I've had other customers comment that they've had good success at drilling a hole in this plate, remove it, drill a hole in it, and actually mount your tip in that plate. And that does seem to be a vacuum, even though you'd say, well, that's a pressurized area. At the point that it gets to this plate, it will actually draw. So as that applicator is spraying the mist in and out of the tip, the conditions are right that it will go ahead and incorporate the product and the inoculant and run it right on up the spout. So if you're looking for a place to install your spray tip, this cover is a good place, and it allows easy accessibility to clean the tip and service. Okay, we're in the John Deere 8000's cab here, and we're looking at the convenience strip. And what we're doing, we're trying to get power for our ignition harness. Okay, and that ignition harness is going to have our two eyelets, and at the other end of that's going to be your iPad charging plug, and then your orange wire for your Bluetooth antenna. This green wire is going to be our positive, the black would be our ground. As far as picking up ignition power, we can get an adapter from John Deere that would actually plug right into one of these ports, and it will be a 3-wire plug. You'll have a ground, a positive wire, and then a keyed wire, and I believe that keyed wire is green, but that will be what we would connect our power supply wire to, is here. And then when the operator turns the ignition switch on, you'll see blue lights illuminate here in the charging area, and then of course when he turns it off, then that'll go away, and that's what will actually initiate the clean out function as well. So, but that's where we would recommend acquiring ignition power on a John Deere 8000 forage harvester. Okay, we're on the John Deere 8000 series forage harvester, and here on the right hand side of the spout, in behind this framing, you'll find a can plug here. And if you're going to tie the Intell applicator into the CAN system to apply at variable rate, this would be the connector. So the John Deere side would be the plastic wire loomed here with the connector. The Pioneer cable that we would send you is going to have the green and yellow wire here, and that's going to receive right into that plug. And there is no further setup other than connecting this plug and then plugging into the side of the Intell.